Number 0, action play.
All right, folks, welcome back into Notre Dame Prep, where we are just about to get underway between your Notre Dame Prep Fighting Irish and the Walled Lake Central Vikings. Vilwan with NDP Athletics Broadcasting. We'll hand it over to public address announcer Cam Evans with the starting lineups.
The Vikings are led by head coach Chuck Spolsky. And now, the lineup for your Notre Dame Fighting Irish. A 5'10" senior, number 3, Sammy Corey. A 6'1" senior, number 5, Lucas Catula. A 6'2" senior, number 12, Brady Roa. At 6'5", a senior, number 15, Sam Stowe. And the big man in the center, 6'5" senior, number 20, Adrian Burnett.
All right, so starting lineups are in for the tip-off. We're going to have Lucas Catula up against Cullen Sharp. And this is going to be a tough game for the Irish in terms of head-to-head matchups. The 3 games that these teams have in common. Walled Lake Central went beat Warren Cousino, whereas NDP fell, and then fell to Walled Lake Western and Walled Lake Northern, just like NDP. So it's going to be a tough one, as that one is thrown up, and both guys miss it, so we're going to throw it up one more time. That throw in. One back to Sammy Corey, and the Irish will start with possession. Corey, the senior. Now up top for Catula, back to Corey. Corey, guarded by Camacho. Back out to Corey. 3. Good. Sammy Corey opens the scoring with a 3 from the far elbow. As Anthony Camacho passed that over to Asa Clay. Back to Camacho. Saw him in warm-ups, looking like he's going to be an issue as that pass batted away. Roa working in, lays that up, no good. Rebound taken by Malshevsky. Sends it over to Camacho on the near elbow. Camacho brings it up top, over to Malshevsky. To Clay, that one through his hands. Catula stops, now passes that off to Roa, and the Irish will slow it down. And near elbow, Stowe, 3, right through from Sam Stowe. 2 straight threes from the Irish, leading this one 6-0. As Anthony Camacho, the senior, holds. Sends that over to Evan Brown. Brown, back to Camacho, back to Brown, far elbow. Brown thought about shooting, double comes. Camacho up top, 3. No good, rebound, Corey. And Corey holds on to that one. Over to Roa. Roa spins, stops, passes that out. Now up top for Roa. Roa, corner, Catula, 3. 3 straight threes for the Irish. Corey, Stowe, Catula open the scoring up, 9-0 lead for the Irish. Camacho handles up top. Back to Brown. Brown thought about shooting the 3. To the corner for Malshevsky. Up top, Camacho burns Catula. Camacho working in to the corner. Malshevsky underneath. Rejected by Fernandez. Irish coming out hot early as Stowe. Up ahead, Catula with the layup. And the timeout called. A great start for the Irish on an 11-0 run. 4 for 4 shooting. Catula has 5, a 3, and a 2. Stowe with a 3, and Corey with a 3. So going back to our comparative scores, Walled Lake Central defeated Warren Cousino 58-54, whereas the Irish fell 45-68. Against Walled Lake Western, Walled Lake Northern, Walled Lake Central lost both of those games by 2 points, 1 point for each game. The Irish dropped Walled Lake Western by 6 and Walled Lake Northern by 7. And I'll let the folks watching get their giggles in, but with all that being said, the Irish off to a hot start here, up 11-0. They just forced a full timeout from Walled Lake Central head coach Chuck Spolsky. As the only shot that has been taken by Walled Lake Central was from Camacho, who has been labeled as the shooter for this team. Something that I was hearing from the Irish players, who now handles that. Now Clay on the far elbow, works inside, and a foul. A foul on Catula. And Camacho gonna throw in. Camacho is senior, not the biggest guy, about Sammy Corey height, but from what I've seen, he can shoot the lights out. As Clay brings it up top for Brown. Brown working on Stowe, cutting in. Passes that one out. Matthews, three, no good. Rebound is loose. Taken by Brown. And he now steps back, gonna recoup. Up for Camacho, now Clay has it on the near elbow. Clay searching, Camacho up top, crosses underneath, layup, rattles through. So Camacho opens up the scoring for the Vikings. Cuts that lead down to 9 as Corey handles. Over to Catula. Catula in the paint. Fernandez, that layup knocked out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds off of a Viking, so possession going to stay with the Irish as Roa throws in here. Fernandez, Catula, and Corey, along with Stowe, on for him as that one's thrown over to Lucas Catula. Now Corey, calling out the play. Stowe comes with a pick. Corey uses that pick, now rolls. Loses the handle on it, knocked away by Camacho. Camacho fouled. So first for Sammy Corey. 4:41 left in the first here. 2 fouls, both on NDP. One on Catula, one on Corey as Camacho handles. Sends it over for Clay on the near elbow. Clay, double team. Sends that over for Matthews. Matthews to the corner. Clay for 3. No good. Rebound loose, held in by Clay. Up top now for Johnny Matthews. Matthews almost pickpocketed by Corey. Passes that one off to Camacho. Camacho works on Corey. Floater. Rolls in. So looking like it's going to be sort of similar to what we saw against some of the other Walled Lake teams, where they're going to have one real good scorer and the Irish are going to need to work to shut him down, as there's a 3 from Stowe. That one no good. And out of bounds.
White, 50-50 ball. Come on. Don't take it.
So 4 points for the Vikings. 4-0 run. All of those have been scored by Anthony Camacho, the senior guard. So it's over for Brown on the far elbow. Up top, Camacho. Surveying, over to Matthews. Matthews back to Camacho. Camacho up top. Into the paint, Clay underneath. Knocked away by Fernandez. 2 big blocks early. Sent up ahead for Corey as he stops. Passes that off to Stowe. Stowe working in. Layup no good. Loose in the paint. Fernandez with the rebound and is fouled. That foul on Cullen Sharp, the sophomore, first of the day for Walled Lake Central. Still going to throw it in here for the Irish. In for Fernandez. Fernandez. Stowe in the corner. Stowe steps back. Up top for Corey. Corey steps back, going to try to recoup here. That's over to Stowe on the far elbow. Underneath, Catula. Contact there, nothing called. Camacho steps out of bounds. So Catula under some pressure there, some contact. No good on that layup. Irish retained possession, and Stowe going to throw it in here again from the far sideline. That is thrown into Corey. Now Roa. First touch of the day for him on the near elbow. Working on Clay. Spinning. Stopping. Now sends it off to Sam. Sam Stowe. Layup is no good. He gets his own rebound and lays that in. Stowe and Catula tied 5 points apiece. As we're under 3 minutes here in this first quarter as Camacho handles. That over to Matthews. Matthews double teamed Camacho. Up top. Pass that into the paint. Clay mid-range. No good. Rebound Catula for the Irish. Up ahead to Sam Stowe. Corey, corner 3. Good. Sammy Curry takes the lead in scoring with 6. 16-4 is the score. Benny Offer and Rocco Wisniewski checking in as that's into the paint, taken away by the Irish. Catula didn't see Roa breaking out there, but slowed it down and handed that off to Stowe. Irish lead this one by 12. Corey up top for Catula. Now Roa on the near elbow. Working in. Floater. Off the backboard. Loose. Catula tips that one out. And we'll get our first subs of the game. Fernandez and Corey subbing out for Wisniewski and Offer. Benny Offer, the sophomore called up from JV a few weeks ago. Older brother Tomasino signed with Wheaton today for baseball. You can catch our interview with him on my Instagram page. As Camacho handles that up top. Long three, no close. Rebound, loose, taken by Wisniewski. Now Roa to Offer. Offer, quarterbacking the play, sends that into Stowe. Stowe, looking for Catula down low. Camacho is fouled. That foul on Catula, second of the game. As 30-second timeout called by Coach Durkin. So the Irish coming out hot. Corey has 6. Catula and Stowe with 5. Camacho has 4. For the Vikings, the sole point scorer. So we'll look ahead with what we have in the upcoming days and weeks on this channel. So tomorrow at 8 p.m., North Oakland Eagles coverage is back on the channel as they take on Lakes Area United. That coverage will start at 8 o'clock. We'll see if we have our color commentator, Jack Ortwine, with us. It's always a toss-up with him. And then on Tuesday the 10th, we have basketball coverage versus Flushing. That's going to be the hardest game the Irish have played so far. Flushing, a very talented team. So we'll get coverage of that. And then on Thursday, women's basketball versus Linden Fenton. And then hockey coverage at home versus Southgate. So Camacho handles now and passes that one off to Wabsis. Wabsis back to Camacho. Camacho into the corner. Back up top, Camacho working in. That floater, that pass knocked away. Rebound loose on the ground over to Camacho. Camacho stepping up from the corner now holds it up top. Working his way in underneath. And a foul called on the Irish. That's another foul on Catula. He's got 3 today. Gonna need to be careful there not to foul out. And that one thrown in to Sharp. Into the corner, Camacho, 3. That one through. Line drive 3 is good from Camacho. Lone point scorer. As Offer works on Camacho. Offer down the far sideline, under 40. Stowe to Roa. On the far elbow, Roa pops that one out for Catula up top. Catula works on Matthews, now over to Stowe on the far elbow. Stowe underneath, pass back door. Roa with the layup. Good read there from Sam Stowe. Finding Drake Roa there on the back door. Camacho gonna hold in here, 18-7 the score. Sharp back to Camacho. 5 seconds now. Camacho sends up the heave. No good. And that'll take us to the end of the first. Irish lead this one 18-7. Sammy Corey leads the scores with 6. He's knocked down 2 threes. Catula and Stowe both have 5, and Roa just pitched in with 2 of his own. So that'll take us to the top of the second. Again, sort of a similar thing we saw against Walled Lake Western, where only one pure point scorer for this team, that being Anthony Camacho. He's got all 7. We saw it earlier against Genesee Christian when Cooper Boyke dropped 32. He accounted for more than half of Genesee's points in that nail-biting win. Looking at some other sort of teams that have been a one-man show, of course, Walled Lake Northern, or Walled Lake Western, rather, I don't have that exact point total in my head, but nor do I have the name. Regardless, another one where it's just a great individual effort that the Irish are going to need to figure out how they can sort of step up and neutralize. So far, Camacho hasn't been shooting that well, so hopefully something that the Irish can take advantage of.
27.
So Cullen Sharp going to throw it in here, and he throws that into Evan Brown. Camacho not on the floor right now, as that one knocked out of bounds. And Sharp getting subbed out for Miracle. That's an awesome last name. That's thrown in to Evan Brown. Brown back over Wabsis. Back to Brown, up top. Malshevsky from the elbow, no good. Max Robin gets that rebound and passes that over to Sammy Corey. Corey to Roa. Roa in the corner, flips it all the way across. Stowe works underneath. That one blocked. But stepping out of bounds, head coach Chuck Spolsky not pleased with his team's performance right now. Again, 10-7 on the season, and that's thrown into Fernandez. Now Corey to Stowe from the corner, puts up that three, no good. Roa underneath and fouled. And no and one. He did make one through contact. However, the foul called on Blair Wabsis, and Stowe will throw in. Stowe to Roa. Roa, the floater, rattles around and out. Hit every inch of the rim and did not fall through. As that one loose on the ground, Robin falls on it. Matthews with it, passes that one out to Brown. Brown sweeps across the top, working on Corey. Over to Wabsis. Wabsis on Stowe. Near elbow, passes that one off to Matthews. Now Brown, back to Matthews. Matthews, stepping back, free throw line. Over to Brown. And he travels. So Evan Brown traveling there as Ian Shaw checks in for Johnny Matthews. So lots of subs here. And again, just Chuck Spolsky very vocal with his team right now, not pleased with their performance. Sammy Corey going to hold now for the Irish. Brings it in and dishes that out to Drake Roa on the far elbow. Roa cutting in, layup, no good. Shaw takes that rebound. The junior passes that over to Evan Brown. Brown dribbles off his foot. Guarded by Corey, passes that over to Wabsis. Wabsis working in, stops. Back to Brown. Brown, Malshevsky to Shaw. Shaw, Euros. That one no good. Rebound taken by Roa and the Irish. And Roa comes in on the near sideline. Up top for Stowe. Max Robin cutting there, looking for a pass is Stowe. Working on Miracle. In the paint. Robin out for Fernandez. That one knocked away. Brown handles it on the far sideline. Brown up top. Over to Wabsis. Back up top for Brown. Brown cutting in. Through some contact. Layup. Loose. Taken by Fernandez and the Irish. And Stowe handles it on the near sideline. Up top for Roa. Roa puts up the three. Rattles around and out. Rebound loose. On the ground. Taken by Brown. Spins away from contact. Scoring gone a little stagnant here. We have not scored in the 3 minutes so far, as that's up top for Malshevsky. Now Shaw. Far elbow. Now into the corner. Brown. That one off the side of the backboard. Taken up ahead by Roa. Roa with speed. And one. Bit of a delayed call there from our official, however. Falls through nonetheless. Powers and Wisniewski checking on for Stowe and Fernandez. Josh Powers had a somewhat slow start of the season, got a lot of more playing time down the stretch. He's averaging 2.2 points a game, and Roa here at the free throw line. That one up and through.
27.
And Camacho checking in now. First touches of the second quarter. Sends that over to Verga. Brown for three. That one rolls through. Cutting into that lead, Evan Brown gets the first points on the board for someone not named Anthony Camacho. As Roa handles that to Robin. Robin back to Roa. Roa to Corey on the near elbow. Into the paint. Wisniewski spinning. Knocked away by Camacho off his foot. Here comes Brown. Brown. And a foul. So that foul called on Josh Powers. Tried to be selfless on that one, take a charge. Did not. So Brown heads to the free throw line. He just knocked down a three. See if he can lessen the lead. Evan Brown, that first one, right through. And so Blair Wabst is checking out for Asa Clay. As Evan Brown's second free throw. That free throw up and through as well. As Roa handles. Press coming. Beat by the Irish. Up ahead. Powers mid-range. Long two. No good. Rebound for Clay. Up ahead. Camacho. Camacho working on Roa. Underneath. Long pass. Tips. What a travel on Mike Verga.
Middle. Come on.
Roa. Right back from Corey. Trying to beat that press. They get around it. Roa now in some trouble. Over to Corey. Corey, Wisniewski underneath. They're going to call a foul. That foul on Wisniewski, they're going to call him for a charge. And Clay going to throw in up ahead for Camacho. Camacho handles it on the far sideline and hands that one off to Brown. Irish have not scored yet. 5-point run. As that's into the corner. Sharp sends that out for Brown. Brown up top deep, sends that to Mike Verga. Back to Brown to Camacho. Long three. That one through. Knocks that long three down. And again, that press coming. Irish get around it. Ruma, Fernandez to Stowe. Stowe puts up the three. No good. Taken by Camacho. As that one knocked up ahead. So Offer checks out Luciano Ruma. Irish lead cut down to just 6 now. So that's thrown up ahead. Stowe. Now over to Offer. Offer gonna take his space. Now works down the far sideline, or near sideline. Fernandez, Roa. Through contact, no call. Corey, that rebound taken by Sharp. Brown spinning, gonna slow it down. Brown sweeps across, guarded by Offer. Now crosses, working into the corner for Colin Sharp. Sharp, that pass, or that shot knocked away by Fernandez. He's having a big day with blocks. Thrown up ahead to Stowe. Stowe to Offer. Offer guarded by Camacho. Under 2.5 minutes left as that pick comes. Offer working around, now spinning. Looking for his options. He's getting blanketed by Camacho. As the pick comes, they get the switch. Now into the corner for Roa. And he travels. So another turnover again. The Irish scoreless. for quite a while. Just going to need to settle in here. 2 minutes left. Camacho leads scoring all around with 10. That's out to Brown. Brown, double team comes, sends that to Clay. Clay, into the corner. 3 from Virgo, rolls through. Mike Virga, first points of the day, as Offer and Stowe are back trying to beat that press. Stowe, back to Offer, now on the near sideline. Pass that to Drake. Stowe, working in, back door, Fernandez. Layup, no good, but fouled. That foul called on Cullen Sharp, second of the day. Fernandez goes to the free throw line, going to try to break an Irish drought. And Augie Villawan with NDP Athletics Broadcasting. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe for more. That first free throw, no good from Fernandez. Irish came out super hot, starting to slow down a little bit as Central starts getting adjusted in their defensive schemes. Second free throw now from Fernandez. That one bricks out, no good. Stowe, layup, that one rolls around and out as well. Loose on the ground. And a foul called on Fernandez, I should say. First of the day. Motion leader Sam Stowe, you just got to get your team calmed down here. As Camacho handles with under a minute and a half left in this first half. Up top now for Clay. Over to Brown on the far elbow. Now Camacho. He's been dangerous from 3. Pulls up mid-range. That one no good. Way off the mark. And Stowe brings it up ahead for the Irish. Looking for Roa. Gets him underneath. Roa. Step back. No good. Down to under a minute now. Brown. Working down the near side. And he lays that in. Brown up to 7 points. Stowe handles. Stowe passes that off to Offer. Offer to Roa, now on the near elbow. Roa, blanketed by Brown, over to Stowe up top. Now to Offer on the near elbow. Benny Offer, looking for his options. And travels. So, 30-second timeout called by the Irish. Again, there's Central starting to change up their scheme just a little bit. Irish looking a little frazzled here. We'll see how they can adjust. Emotions running high for this Irish team. Obviously, this season so far, not what you wanted it to be. But as you get to the latter half, you've got some games on your schedule that you have circled as games that you can and should win. This game, one of them, very winnable for the Irish, very evenly matched if the... So the Irish came out hot. We saw sort of a similar thing against Genesee Christian where momentum started swinging away from the Irish. We'll see how they handle this as Camacho handles. Not as big of a student section here. As passes off to Camacho. Lead scorer for the Vikings. Now up top for Clay. Under 5. And I have no idea what that foul means. Some sort of like, he brought his hand over it, maybe a carry. So 1 point lead for the Irish. 4 seconds left. Press going to be coming for the Vikings. We'll see how the Irish can respond with 4 seconds. That's back to Corey. Looking like they're just going to try to make a break for it. Corey sends that one up. No good. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. I'm Augie Villawan with NDP Athletics Broadcasting. Make sure you tune in about 10 minutes. We'll have you guys live for the second half.